Welcome to the Website Success Show, the podcast dedicated to helping women in business get more traffic and sales through their website with less reliance on social media and paid ads. I'm Jules White, the founder of the Website Success Hub, and I love helping local and online businesses make more money through their existing website. If you have a business you love, but you don't like the way your website performs, then this is the show for you. So hi, today we're diving into a Google business profile for Jude Wharton of Ready Steady Websites. By the end of this episode, we'll hopefully have identified some quick wins for your Google profile, Jude. So welcome, Jude. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited. So before we start, if we were to meet in 6 months' time and you were telling me about the amazing things happening in your business, how would your Google business profile be helping with that?
Okay, so I think the things that I'd be telling you about would be that we are getting a range of people coming through our website wanting a range of our services, because at the moment we're very much got people coming in just using our templates, and we want to broaden kind of the awareness of the range of services we offer. So we are adapting our own website at the moment to help with that. But I would like to see more traffic coming from our Google My Business profile to our website, because at the moment it's low, and I know that we have not paid enough attention to it. I looked at it this morning before I came on this call with you and just went, why does it say that at one bit of it?
Oh, okay.
So there's definitely things you're going to be able to help us with, because I would love to see the traffic coming from that to our website increasing massively, and it being a big player in getting those people to all our different services.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it can really help. And there's certainly some things that you could get some quick wins. I was having a little look at your profile earlier, and there's some opportunities there, definitely. So before we start, tell us a little bit about your business and how your profile kind of currently sits within your marketing activities. You've kind of said that you've neglected it a little bit, but just tell me a little bit about your business and how you kind of market it at the moment.
Yeah, so we are Ready Steady Websites. We are a website template service, and I say we because it's myself and my business partner and husband, Chris. Perhaps husband should have come first in that sentence. Perhaps that should have been priority over business partner, but it's fine. And yes, so we have been in business for 15 years. We started off very much as a sort of traditional mini digital design agency, building and designing websites from scratch, doing branding services as well. 6 years ago, we launched Ready Steady Websites, which, as I said, is a website template service, so that we're giving people the opportunity to create really good, high quality websites with really good, high quality service, but they are doing it themselves using our templates. But what we also offer is a do-it-for-you service for people who still don't have that budget to really go agency and get something done bespoke for them, but who don't want to be doing it themselves, putting their own content into their templates. And we also offer branding services through Ready Steady Websites as well, in a package format rather than maybe in the more bespoke format that we would offer it through our overarching business. And it's that done for them bit and the branding package bit that we want to start promoting more, that we haven't been really pushing, because we've very much focused on the do it themselves template approach to creating their website. So yeah, that is our business in a nutshell, really.
Okay. And so how are you marketing your business at the moment?
At the moment, there's a lot of me getting out there, networking, talking to people. We have a lot of really good collaborations, a lot of people who send work our way, which we're so grateful for. And you can see it in the niches that we work with. We've never gone out to niche, but we have a lot of nutritional therapists, because we have an amazing contact in that world who sends people to us. We have a lot of speakers and authors, again, because of contacts we have in that world who send people to us. So yeah, it's a lot of collaboration, a lot of networking. That is our main bread and butter. But we do have a good email list that we build up through having free resources, and a lot of work comes from that as well. People sit on there for quite a while until they're really sure that they like us enough to work with us, but they get there in the end. And so that works really well for us. And we do get people just finding us and booking in calls and joining Ready Steady Websites. So we have got a certain element of SEO going on, and we know our stuff, but it's a bit like the plumber with the leaky tap, that maybe we concentrate on everyone else's websites more than our own at times. And like I said, we are working on our own website at the moment. There is going to be changes to it coming very soon. But yeah, I've got questions about the Google My Business profile. And to be honest, because we can work with anybody anywhere, we do have some local business, but we have quite a lot of business from Bermuda, again, because of one particular collaboration, and she is amazing. We have people in America, we've got people in Australia, we've got people all over the world. And for me, working out how to use a Google My Business profile when I'm not a local business is where I trip up. Because I advise at some of our members, like, they are a nutritional therapist, only want to see people in person in Wimbledon, for example. And that's quite easy to do a Google My Business profile for. But when you're looking for anybody anywhere, you can really to work with anybody. That's where I found it harder to sort of position it really and know what to put in some of the boxes. I feel like we don't fit in the boxes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can dive into that, definitely. Actually, I'm so glad though, as you talked about your marketing methods, I'm so glad the first one you said was networking and the relationships you build. I think that's so important. And I actually recorded a podcast episode about this earlier this week, episode 62, about my top 3 ways to get business that aren't social media. And I'm so glad you didn't mention social media, because as much as it's there and we can use it, I love the fact that there are other ways you're bringing clients in already. And
I do social media. I don't love it, but I think it's important if someone ends up on one of our social media profiles, there's current stuff on there to show that we are working on the business. But it's not my main draw, and we do get some work from it, but it's definitely not one of our main avenues of getting work.
I love the fact that the top one you said was networking and getting to know people and relationships and referrals, because no algorithm can take that away from us. And I would always say that above SEO, above anything else, really, just making sure that we focus on those relationships. Really, I think it's we kind of have this thing of thinking, okay, I'm just getting all my business from referrals, I need to look for something else, but actually keep going with those referrals. You're never really going to go wrong there as well, really. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen so we can have a little look at your profile and we can dive in.
I'm actually embarrassed about it. This is like
no. Actually, you made a really good point about the plumber with a leaky tap. It's so much easier doing this for other people, and I have this myself, where actually I love diving into marketing strategy and website strategy for clients, but actually doing it myself, it's like, oh, okay, I need to do that. And I know I do need to do more of it, but it's not necessarily easy doing it for yourself, really. So I definitely can relate to that as well. Let's start by talking about the location part of Google profiles. So as you can see, because you don't have a physical location, you don't have an address showing on Google Maps, that's why we have this thing where it's actually showing your pin in the map. It will still show a pin in the map, but it kind of ends up being the center. If you haven't set any service areas, it's going to show a pin in the middle of the whatever you have set. And you've, I guess, set your service area to UK, I'm guessing. So what that then does, normally if you set it as UK, we see a box around the UK and it goes all the way down to, I think it's Cyprus. So it comes down to the sort of bottom here, and it looks weird. Whichever way you do it, it looks weird. But that's why you've got this here. So it's kind of this, it's treating that as the middle of where you've set your set, where you've told Google you are and where you work, really. The thing with Google profiles is they are really designed for local business. So your Google profile is unlikely to show up for somebody who is searching in Bermuda or wherever, outside of kind of your local area, unless you are a very niche business where there's no competition. Like, I'm not likely to be showing up for SEO consulting in Scotland. I'm based in the south of England. And so I think it's always best to kind of focus on that local part with the Google business profile and use that to support your website actually bringing in the traffic from anywhere in the world. So that would be my sort of first tip, is actually, if you can set yourself a more local area on your Google profile, and it feels a bit counterintuitive, it feels a bit like, oh, but I can help people anywhere. And, so you feel like you're kind of cutting yourself off. But actually, it's probably going to be help to strengthen your profile in your local area. And local could mean they normally say to set it, if you are a service area business, set it to about within a 2-hour drive of where you are. So what I've done with my profile is I picked a point sort of 2 hours north, south, east, west from me that would be about a 2-hour drive, and set that as my service area. So I put those towns on as the areas I could work. I think I put the counties on mine as well. So I'm based in Bedfordshire, Buckinghamshire, Hertfordshire, Oxfordshire, Cambridgeshire are locations around me that it would be good for me to show up on the map in those areas, really. So I would say start with your own town or the biggest close town to you and build out from there, but focus on that local part of it rather than trying to show up everywhere for everything. So it is a bit of a like, it feels counterintuitive, but what it's going to do is help to strengthen your profile locally. I think we can often, when we are online businesses, we can forget about the fact that there are so many businesses that need our help locally, and people are so much more loyal to buy from local companies as well. So if there's somebody who needs your help locally to you, they're more likely to know somebody that you know. They're more likely to buy from you if you are local. Thinking of your profile in that way of how can you attract people locally to help them, and then sort of how that can then support your website, really. How does that feel in terms of a slight strategic change?
I've not thought about, I mean, I can't do a 2-hour drive south because I'm in Southampton and I'm in the sea then. But yeah, doing like if I did sort of Hampshire, West Sussex, like, East Sussex and sort of, Dorset.
Yeah, and you could potentially include London in yours as well. The thing is, in London, there's going to be a lot more competition. So the Google profiles and the Google Maps are going to show up a lot more local results. But you could, whether actually I'm thinking that's whether you would include London, maybe not, because the problem with including London is then that does kind of dilute it again a little bit more, really. So I would say focus on those areas close to you. And then what you'll see then, if somebody looks and you happen to show up on the map, is they'll see a box around that area, really. So it just seems to make a bit more sense to people when they're looking on the maps and seeing your business there, really. So then looking at your profile, so when I look on desktop now at Google profiles, we don't see as much information as when we look on our mobiles. So I had a little look on mobile as well, and I can see your images that you've shared on your profile. You've got some of your website templates on there. I couldn't see it in this view on the maps. This was where I searched for your business name through Google, and then it took me through to the map. Sometimes you see this knowledge panel. We call this sidebar here, where if you're on desktop and you get somebody's Google business profile showing up, sometimes you see this knowledge panel here and sometimes you don't. I have a lot of plugins that help me with my SEO running here, and I think sometimes they affect what shows up there. But essentially what I was seeing here was, I'm guessing if I click on this map, it's going to show me a pin in the map, right? I think it was Poland or somewhere where you were showing there. So whereas if you look on mine, it's a bit more zoomed out and you'll see that service area there. So I think it just helps people realize like that you are a UK based business and you are where you are, really. And it's not showing a lot more in here. So let me find the one that shows. Oh, there you go. So on this one, this was where I found the actual location of your Google profile, which you can find that yourself. When you're logged into your profile, you can get the exact location on Google of your profile and you can share that. It's a bit like when you share to get reviews, it sends people directly to the reviews page on your profile. Yeah. And when I went into that, it then showed me your images that you've got here. And part of the reason that this may not be showing up within this is because these images have been on there for a while. So I think when I looked, so what does it say? January 2022. Or any of them. So yeah, I'm guessing you uploaded them all at once and then forgot about it.
We went, done our Google business profile, tick that box, the thing we tell everyone not to do, and then forgot about it.
Absolutely. So, I mean, what would be really good to see on here would be some pictures of showing what you do, especially if you're trying to promote that done for you work, then actually showing you working. So it can be things like if you do some workshops and things, or you have a group call with your group.
Yeah, I run one monthly website planning workshops, and with our Ready Steady Websites members, we do a couple of co-working calls a month with them. Chris does a Wednesday surgery on Zoom. So yeah, we're always talking to people.
So having something on there, and whether you actually create a photo in Canva where you're actually showing what you do, you could actually upload those kind of things there. I will come to another place on your profile that might be more helpful to upload those. But just thinking about this with photos, if people are coming in and they're seeing your profile, what would help them to understand what you do a bit better? So whether it is showing, some of your templates, or like, not as in the actual website templates, but showing people that these are templates that they can edit themselves, maybe showing a screenshot of the back end. I think you've got a intro video, haven't you? Because I've seen that in a few different places. Even showing some of that information that you have on there as pictures on your Google profile could be helpful. And if that info video is shorter than 30 seconds, or if you can cut it into a version that's shorter than 30 seconds, uploading that to your Google profile could actually be a real quick win, because Google loves video, because everybody loves video now. If you can actually get that on there, that could be something that could be really, really helpful. So when you're doing that, think about a good intro picture, because I've got one on mine where I recorded, I can't remember what it was, just me recording like a quick video. And now that's the thing that always shows at the top of my Google profile, but it's a picture of my face, like sort of things, which I hate. So try and get something in there where the first screen that people are going to see when they look at that video is going to be something that either is your logo or, something introducing what they're going to be watching, really. But that could be a really quick win. Try and get that on there. And all of this you can do in the back end. So if somebody doesn't know how to log into their Google profile, you can do it on your phone. You can go into Google Maps and make sure you're logged into your correct Google account. You can do it in there, or you can do it on desktop. And if you go to Google Chrome, again, make sure you're logged into the right account at the top here. So make sure you're actually in your Google profile associated account. Go to the search bar and just type in my business, and then you should see the details to be able to get into your profile and edit it there, really. So I would definitely say that with photos, just get some more photos, just showing a bit more of what you do and how you help people, really. And do that regularly. So keep updating your photos, adding them in regularly. You could even ask your clients, if you get clients leaving reviews, you could ask them to include in their review a screenshot of their amazing website that they've built using your templates and those kind of things. That kind of stuff, it would be really helpful, especially if you're on a Zoom call with somebody who's giving you an amazing review. A picture of the pair of you on a Zoom call with their website as well in the background, almost like a screen share type thing. So if you could see our faces up on here, that could be really helpful in showing Google that you are a genuine business, that you're helping people. And it's all about increasing that trust, really. So I would say definitely to do that. One of the most important things in terms of actually what you're showing up for when people are searching and your Google profile is showing up is the primary business category that you choose. You only have one category set on your profile, which is web designer. So this is the GMB Everywhere Google Chrome plugin. And this is one where you just create an account. It's all free. And you can go in and you can find different categories that could relate to your business. And the primary category that you have is the most important one. So I would definitely say if you're looking at that, and if you were looking at the difference, so this one shows you roughly how many searches there are a month for that as well. Say if you had your primary category set at marketing consultant, it shows here that there are 40.5 thousand searches for marketing consultant, whereas web designer, there are actually 368,000 searches. So I would definitely, in that case, be setting web designer as your primary category, which is what you've got set there. But you can have up to 10 secondary categories. And this is something that you can do that makes a big difference in terms of what you're showing up for. So if somebody is looking for a web hosting company, do you do host your clients' websites? Or
we host our clients' websites if they created them with us.
If somebody's thinking about web hosting and they're not sure, they've heard they need web hosting, and somebody's typing that into Google, having that set as a secondary category for you could then help you to connect with more people, really. So I would definitely recommend going in and looking at what the related categories are to web designer, and if any of them apply to your business. And then you can do this on different searches. So if you then put web hosting company in there, you can then look at it's then brought some more related categories up in relation to web hosting company. So I would definitely recommend going through, install that Chrome plugin, have a little look at what your competitors have set as their categories as well. So like Ready, Steady, Go SEO, I've got internet marketing service, we've got software company, those kind of things. Just have a little look at what all your competitors have got in there. And if they're relevant for your business, then definitely set those as your categories as well. So that's probably my biggest tip in terms of actually showing up on Google. One little point to mention there is if somebody is looking at this and they're thinking they need to change their primary category, and this is the same with actually changing your service area as well. Those are the two things that can often cause a re-verification from Google. So it's something that you need to think about. If you are going to change your primary category, think about how difficult a re-verification could be, because that's where we all tend to struggle a little bit with that right now, especially if we haven't got a pin in the map. It's not a case of getting a postcard like we used to have when if your Google profile has to be re-verified and you are a company that you aren't necessarily meeting with clients in person, it can be a bit tricky, really. So I would definitely consider that, of actually when you're changing either of these things, just think about, okay, if we did have to re-verify, how much hassle is that going to cause for us? I mean, sometimes it is a case of we have to be a little bit creative with how we then do these verifications, really. So if clients ever come to meet you in the house, or if you go out to meet clients, then that will definitely help in terms of being able to be verified. And sometimes it is just being a little bit creative with it, really, because we have to do these things that, you know, we're not, as a service area business, we're not necessarily, it's not necessarily as easy as it is if you've got a pin in the map and you've got a physical location where people come to see you, really. But yeah, you don't need to change your primary category, so you don't need to worry about that. Adding the secondary categories in shouldn't cause any problems, really. So then there are certain areas of your profile that you definitely could expand to help Google to understand what you do a bit more. So you can actually add posts. So if I was logged into my own account here, I would be able to see where it says add an offer. And I can see that on my phone where it says updates, and it doesn't necessarily show it. As I say, on desktop now, we don't always see quite as much information as we do on mobile. Can we see it here? So what you would maybe see if you had some updates, and updates can be posts, they can be events that you've got happening. There's all sorts of things. If you go in there, you and look at updates, you'll see the kind of stuff that you can add. So I actually add my weekly podcast episode. So every time I release a podcast episode, I actually release 2 a week at the moment, but I add those into my Google business profile as a post. And it's just always, you'll get more likely to get other things showing up in these side panels. Or if I look at my profile on my phone, I can see a lot more. It keeps me scrolling, and I can see all my podcast episodes and any other updates that I've added in there. You could add updates about your services. So if you really want to focus on that done for you service, adding an update talking about your service and then linking to that page on your website, then that could be a great way then to get a little bit more visibility on the Google results pages. Brilliant. And it's simple to do.
And every time I've got a website planning workshop, I could go and put a post in saying there's a new workshop.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
definitely. Cool. Yeah. And the things is sometimes the things that we put on social media and we don't necessarily think about adding that to our Google profile. So it doesn't have to be a big thing that you're creating loads of new content. But if you can add those kind of things, I'm trying to think how to explain it, like not posting that you're going to a networking event or those kind of things, the things that you would then maybe put on your social media, but the things that are actually relevant to your business and going to help to keep your customers updated, really. That's what it's designed for, is to help to keep your customers updated. So I would definitely say to do that, to go through and add those kind of things in, and really just go through your profile and look at what's missing. So if any of the details, anything where you could add extra things in that would help, then go through and do that. So that's always the first step, is look at what's already there and just think, well, actually, I could add in some Q&A. So you can actually add those as the business owner, and then you can answer them as the business owner. So anyone can post a question and answer to your Google profile. So it's always worth keeping an eye on that as well. You should get a notification if somebody asks a question, but you can actually go in and do that yourself and try and get them as something that's kind of a standalone snippet. So rather than it being what website services do you offer, having what website services do Ready Steady Websites offer, or something like that, that Google could almost take that as a snippet and use it within the search results page. Reviews are something as well. We really want to make sure that we're trying to always ask for reviews. We want a steady stream of them, ideally. So rather than asking loads of people to review us all at once, make sure we have a steady stream of them and make sure that we're actually answering those as well. That's really kind of critical. That's what can help us to stand out against local competition, is the fact of having more reviews, having our profile more completed, and keeping it up to date as well. And that's the thing with actually, if you've got events happening often and you're posting them to your profile often, then that's an easy way to keep everything up to date, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how does that feel for a few things to get started?
That's brilliant. Like there's things I didn't know about the posting there regularly. I knew that the Q&A bit was there, and yeah, so we've always been very good at asking for reviews, but we are getting better at signposting people to Google as one of the places that we'd like them, because we've always very much focused on getting testimonials put on our own website, and we've got Trustpilot as well, and so we get people leaving reviews on there. But I think in the last couple of weeks, we actually have got another couple of Google reviews. So
I saw that you
that
had,
box.
yeah, yay. I saw that you had an up-to-date one. And I think it is a good plan to get different reviews in different places. So when I work with a client, I have a form that goes out to them the day for a VIP day client, a form that goes out the day after. And at the bottom of that form, they're like, it asks them some questions so I can gather a testimonial that I can then use on my website. But at the end of that form, it says, would you be kind to share some words on my Google profile? And I also have a link to my Facebook account there as well. So it's something that actually I think it's not a bad plan to spread your reviews around.
Yeah.
And
Which
that's
is what
something I
we
would
do.
say is make sure anytime you get a new review coming into your account, that you take a screenshot of it and keep it somewhere safe. Because if you ever get an issue with reviews disappearing, you're much more likely to be able to try and get them back if you have got those screenshots. And if you don't ever get them back, then at least if you can still show them that you did get that review, even if it's disappeared from Google, really. So I would definitely say to do that. Have you got any questions at all?
I don't think so. I think that has made it all much clearer.
Yeah.
And, we have got like so many photos that I just haven't even thought about putting on there. We have our showcase page on our website with lovely screenshots of some of the websites that have been created with us. And we always sort of chop and change that a bit and try and get a range of different websites. They could all be on our Google business profile, but they're not, because we haven't done it.
Well, just do it as a steady stream. I think that's a good thing to do, is rather than think, I mean, you can update a few at once, but just think about, okay, what, have them lined up, ready to go, really. I would definitely say.
Yeah. One a week. I'll just keep putting a new one. I do know what I'm going to do now. I am going, because I have like in my planner, I have like, this is my time for writing and scheduling the weekly email. This is my time for spending time writing social posts and putting them up on social media. I'm now going to have a slot of, this is my time each week to just go and do something on the Google business profile.
Yeah. And your monthly blogs. Jude and I have done a blog swap actually coming out next month, which I'm very excited about that. But even that, when you release a new blog, just as I do with my podcast episode, just add that to your Google profile with a link back to that blog. And also make sure that you link to your profile from your website as well. Anything where we can keep those links between those places. I saw you've got your social media link to your Google profile. It's all about just helping Google and AI bots and anything that's actually trying to gather that information about us online is helping to increase that authority, and anything that links those places together and helps it understand that we are the same person, we are the same company, can be really, really helpful. So yeah, I would definitely suggest doing that. The main thing to sort of focus on is looking at those secondary categories, thinking about the service area as well. And as a, bear in mind what I said about the re-verification, and just make a decision sort of on that, really. And then just using all the parts of your profile that you can, really. So getting some more pictures on there. Definitely that video, I think, could be a really important thing to get on there. So before we finish, I'd love you to give yourself a little shout out again, let everyone know again what you do, and more importantly, where they can connect with you and find out more.
Yeah, I am Jude Wharton. I'm one half Ready Steady Websites. And if you are looking for a website that is easy for you to manage, that you understand, that will grow with your business, and that comes with amazing high quality support, because that is what virtually all of our reviews talk about, then do come and have a chat with me. And you can find us at readysteadywebsites.com. I am on LinkedIn as Jude Wharton, and then we are on Instagram and Facebook as Ready Steady Websites.
Brilliant. Thank you. So if this episode has made you think about your local visibility and you'd like to explore optimizing your profile, visit my website to get a Google Business Profile checklist, or alternatively book a mini intensive, and in a short session we can get your profile optimized together. So thanks so much for listening, and thanks, Jude, for being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to the Website Success Show. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps others find the show. If you're ready to make your website work harder for you, grab my free beginner's guide to SEO. It's packed with simple, actionable tips to help you get started improving your website's visibility and attracting your dream client. Head to thewebsitesuccesshub.com/start to download it and take the guesswork out of creating a website that works for your business.